Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today I'd like to tie for you a Attractor dry fly. This is going to be based on the house and lot. I'm just going to change just the tail section, but we have a size 14 standard dry fly. I'm going to use brown thread, and this is 70 denier. When you're using an attractor in the summertime, you're mostly going to be using it over faster water, so a heavier fly is going to be called for. I'm going to start the thread behind the eye, and I'm going to bring that back halfway. Keep your thread at that 45-degree angle, and then bring that thread back up to the middle, halfway back. Now for our wing, I'm going to use calf tail, and you only want to take a small portion of the calf tail. I know calf tail is a little bit hard to work with, but it's worth it once you get the hang of it. I'm going to try and draw the tail fibers into even at the top, and then I'm going to trim them off. After you have them trimmed, we're going to pull out any loose ones or any long ones. If you have yourself a short hair stacker, you can go ahead and put them in your hair stacker simply by tapping the top of it there. I'm just forcing air into it, and it's going to separate those hairs, and then makes it easier to stack because they won't be stuck together. I usually just tap it on my knuckle, and then your wife or kids won't think someone's knocking at the door. When you take it out of the hair stacker, this is the tips, and we want those tips to be going forward, so we're going to hold them so that they're going forward, and we'll take them out. Once again, any loose ones, we just pull them off. Now I'm holding them tight, and I want that wing to be about the length of the shank. Going to place them there, take a loose loop, pull it straight down. Take another loose loop and pull it straight down. And then go back on it just to secure it. And then you can trim it at a slight angle. Looks like I didn't get them all. And then we can secure that the rest of the way. Going to stand the wing up, and I'm actually rubbing the thread on the wing itself so you get a nice tight wrap there, and it's going to stand that right up. I'm going to wait until I get back up to the top to actually split it. Now we're going to take our thread back to the back, put that base down, for the tail I'm going to use a golden pheasant crest. That yellow works good on the nymphs, for the tails on the nymphs, so I figured we'll put it on this. And we want that tail to be maybe 3/4 to the full length of the hook shank. Remember, this is an attractor, so you're not trying to make this look like anything in particular, just like a food source on the surface. Go ahead and trim off that excess. Now I'm going to put in extra fine copper wire, extra fine because you don't want to add too much weight. Extra fine isn't going to even affect it in any way. There we go, get that secured. Bring our thread back. Now for the body, we're going to take a Peacock Herl, and I stripped the Peacock Herl from the bottom section. I had a couple of them right there. Not a big deal. So I have about 2 inches of stripped Peacock Herl on the bottom. And on this size 14, I'm not even going to need that much, maybe just over an inch. We're going to tie this in. And bring that thread right up to the wing. And we're going to wrap this. And we're going to have a quill body on the rear section. And then when we get to the part with the Herl still on it, we're going to continue wrapping. Right up to the wing, and then we can secure that. Just give it a couple of wraps. You can actually hold the wing back and put a couple of wraps on the Herl in front of the wing and break that off. Now we're going to take our extra fine copper wire. We're going to put a little bit of a rib on here. Go right through the Herl. And I'm going to bring that up in front of the wing and secure that there. That wing is starting to go forward. I'm just going to put a few more wraps right in front. Now we're going to take our wing and divide that. Just grab it about in the middle. Give it a couple of figure eights there. Any stray ones you can pull back up. Now for the hackle, I'm going to use a furnace hackle, and this is a saddle hackle. Get a nice long feather, and you can do it to put all your hackle on with a single feather. You can see it's a furnace hackle, and it's called so because you have the black center would be like coal, and the ginger or red tips would be like fire. We're going to tie that in. I gave it the crew cut. Just simply stand your hackle up at a 90 degree and trim it. We're going to secure it firmly right in back of the hackle. Make sure, or right in back of the wing. Make sure you get a couple of good tight wraps there, so the hackle doesn't pull your wing on you. Now we're going to make this wing, or this hackle, we're going to make that pretty thick. Got about 3 wraps in back. Remember, you're going to mostly use this in faster water in the summertime. Hold your wing back and rub that hackle right against the wing, and that will make sure that there's no space between in the hackle moving from in back of the wing to in front of the wing. And we put several wraps on there to make a nice thick hackle, float it well in the faster water. We're going to trim off the excess. Now the hackle is a bit close to the eye, so I'm going to take my half hitch tool, which is the other end of your bodkin. Give it 2 wraps around. I'm going to push that hackle back a bit. Tighten that down. Now I have some space there. Now I can actually form a head. Take the whip finish. We're going to trim that, and we'll take our head cement, get a little bit of head cement on the head. Now, just in case I got any glue or head cement in the eye of the hook, I'm going to take a feather and stick that through the eye of the hook. That was a little tough going through because there was glue on it already. And here we have a nice summer attractor pattern. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.